Well, good morning, everybody. Chuck and Paige here on beautiful Mekong River here in Nong Khai. I don't do this very often, but I don't recommend staying in this hotel. Well, she put us in that top room right there, which looks like the only room that doesn't have a balcony, but it has a view. But right above that is a bar with music, live music, and metal chairs that just scrape up and down like on. It's metal chair and ceramic tile. That's all it is, and you hear it. And in the morning time, about 5:30 to 6, when people are upstairs taking some selfies before they go up there and rearrange the furniture too. So didn't sleep pretty good last night. Did you sleep okay?
Not really.
Yeah, we didn't really sleep well. You can hear the traffic too. Anyway, if you guys stay here, don't stay on the 5th floor.
Yeah.
Many places to stay obviously out here, but we decided to stay on the outskirts. And we're gonna go in here and have hotel breakfast, and then we're gonna head to our next spot. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. There's a lot more coming. I got to take care of a few things at home. If you guys have time this morning, please don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and share. We really appreciate that. If you got time, click those buttons for us this morning. It would be greatly appreciated. Good morning.
Subscribe now.
Let's see what's happening in here in this luxury resort. But the rooftop bar was pretty cool last night. Yeah. Got a lot of bread, watermelon.
ตามสบายเลยนะคะมีกาแฟข้าวต้ม
โอเคกาแฟแอนครับก็
ขนมปังปิ้งแล้วก็ผลไม้เดี๋ยวทำไข่กระทะด้วยค่ะ
ไข่กระทะ
ไข่กระทะครับเอาสุกๆครับ
เอาสุกๆใช่ไหมทั้งสองเลยไหม
Yeah, it's kind of cool. We had a cold front come in. That's why it's a little cloudy. It's supposed to be like 13 degrees Celsius in ThatPhanom this morning. That's kind of cold, huh? It's been a long winter.
I know, this is long.
And I forgot my jacket. I have a bunch of jackets, but I forgot about it. Paige got me a windbreaker. I just haven't
In the truck.
committed to it yet. Yay. This place kind of reminds me like a bus driver's retreat. Like, this is where the people that drive the buses stay. They drop their passengers off at the other hotels. Because there's a rooftop bar, you know, place to hang out and drink beer.
But nothing but young people.
Yeah. You know, this area right here is really known best for border runs. And people can park their vehicles here and also take a tour across. But it's been closed for about 3 years now. Like, nobody's been able to come across that bridge until just recently, like maybe a couple months ago. They were only allowing big trucks to come through transporting goods. And I think for a long time it was limited, like they could only be here for like 7 hours and then had to go back. Something like that. But this place has really suffered a lot in that 3-year period of time since it's been closed. So just recently they've allowed people to come across and start traveling into Thailand. So it's been kind of busy from what they say, but this hotel is still kind of dead, and you can see a lot of things around have kind of slipped away, you know. But that's happened a lot throughout Thailand. Well, hopefully things will get back busy here pretty soon. But I can't imagine this place when it's real busy. It's like a party spot. Here at least they put some cushions on the chairs. Don't want to disturb the ones downstairs. Anyway, next adventure we're gonna go rock climbing.
Be 2 hours sleep.
Maybe. Colorful today. You're colorful today. No, we really were going to go climb up this pretty cool looking mountain at this national park, but I don't know. I don't think we can physically make it because we're just so exhausted from staying in this hotel. So, not enough sleep. You want to try to climb the mountain?
No climbing.
Okay, we're climbing a mountain. Okay, bye luxury hotel. See you never again. Okay, we're out of here. Hit the start button. Next stop, a gigantic mountain.
500 meters. Turn right.
It's gonna be fun. I know it's gonna be just fun. It's gonna be an adventure. Yeah. Well, the rice fields are looking beautiful. Looks like a brand new harvest has started. The freshly green sprouts popping out of the paddies. Somebody had asked me about the air quality in udon, if the burning season affects udon at all. I think most all places by the border are affected by the burning season, mainly because it kind of blows in from outside of Thailand, from Laos. But I think everywhere in Thailand, except on an island or right on a beach where there's constant wind, I think you're going to have some smoke, you know, from this part of the world, because they like to, you know, they burn off the old crops and to help fertilize it for the new season, and it kills bugs, insects, stuff like that too. But anyway, yeah, I think all of time, especially Bangkok, like the air quality is pretty bad certain times of the year, and they want to blame it on the fact that there's no wind. But just because there's no wind doesn't mean that they still have to pollute. Like they have a real serious problem with pollution from vehicles, like especially diesels. Like there's no I don't know, they like to turn up their injection pumps to where they're just barreling smoke down the road, or some of the vehicles are so old and need a repair.
It's a lot of construction in Bangkok.
And a lot of construction, yeah.
Dust and all that.
I think some things are controllable though, like with the vehicle standards, you know, stuff like that. There's a guy right behind me, he's just trying to pass me, but he's blowing out all kind of smoke too. But there's no regulations on that. But anyway, there's no wind sometimes in Bangkok, so it's no wind, so the pollution's bad. Well, the pollution's just bad. It's just the wind blows it away. But I think the best bet is to be by the beach. Potty break. There's a lot of everybody's kind of driving in their own world this morning here. Beautiful koi fish, big. We were gonna try to make it home today. I don't think we're gonna be able to, so we'll probably spend the night somewhere on the road. I think we're both a little tired. Big koi fish in there. So we were talking last night about staying long term at places, and I asked Paige to give me 3 places this year. She said Got Chang, Krabi, and maybe somewhere up north, like Chiang Rai or somewhere. We haven't really thought about it quite yet, but somewhere up north, I think. But that'll be something in the future this year. We got a lot of outside trips planned, so yeah, I think it's best if we try to navigate certain areas longer term. Be a little easier on me, I think, driving, as long as I could not get bored. 7-8 pizza. Okay, just down the road, I was like, I need to get a coffee. Maybe a coffee and a snack. Gonna direct some traffic today.
Yeah, I know. No, construction working today.
We got that here.
Maybe.
Lucky day. Hawaiian pizza bread. You want a Hawaiian pizza bread? All right, got me a little ham and cheese, some road snack. The little toasters used to come in a little package that you could tear open and hold, but they started taking them out of them now, I guess, or they don't. I don't know what happened, but now they're in a bag. Pretty good. I'm not super hungry. I just have no energy. Good. Well, we got about another 50 minutes till we get to our rock climbing adventure. I want to talk to you a little bit about driving in Thailand. I know I said I was going to make a complete video on this, but I think I'll just add it to here and we'll just talk about it right now. I talk a little bit about it every time we're driving, give you guys some hints and some tips about driving in Thailand, but first thing, if you want to come drive in Thailand, you're obviously going to need a driver's license. The easiest way to get a driver's license, and I've been told that some countries' driver's license work in Thailand. Have you heard that? Like England or something there. Maybe you guys can put in a comment section. I think if you're British, I think your driver's license will work in Thailand. I'm not sure. Leave it in the comment section if that's true. But other than that, if you're coming here to stay or even to visit, all you need is a driver's permit. And with that driver's permit, it's easier to get a driver's license in Thailand. You just have to take I think it's an eye test. You need to take a depth perception test. And what else? Oh, you got to look at the lights. Red, yellow, green. If you're colorblind, you'll have to memorize it somehow. But that's about it. Real easy to get a license, and same thing for the motorbike. First thing I want to tell you for sure is don't drive aggressive in Thailand. A lot of people have something in their vehicle that will probably hurt you. They're not really big on, I don't know, like road rage. Some places like Buriram, which is strange, they're very aggressive drivers in Buriram, and sometimes they like to beep. Just stay out of their way. Don't get confrontational with them. It's not worth it. The big buses and the taxis and, you know, the hot shots, the people that are working through Thailand, they're in a hurry. They just want to get around you. They're not really trying to, you know, like we think, oh, you're riding my tail, it's road rage. They just want to get around you. Just move to the side and let them go. They got stuff to do. You don't have anything to do. Just relax. Don't beep at anybody. Now, you can beep, and sometimes it's necessary, but a little like that is good. A beep, like a long beep, is like a sign of aggression. Don't do it. In Bangkok, they do beep a lot. You guys have ever been to Vietnam? It's like a thing to do there. I think the vehicle we traveled in, the horn pad was wore out, and you could just, the button was exposed from beeping his horn so much. But anyway, don't beep, don't drive aggressively. When you're in the city, well, really when you're just anywhere in Thailand, if you're gonna make a decision to go in a certain direction, don't hesitate, just do it. Put your signal on for sure, because there's people behind you on motorbikes that are dependent on knowing what you're gonna do. Because it kind of flows like a flock of birds. Now, if you turn your signal on to the left and then the last minute you turn to the right, you might bounce off a motorbike or get somebody really angry. So use your signals, commit to it, and just go. A lot of times when you drive through the towns, there's no traffic lights. It's kind of like up to you light intersection. So normally the person who wants to go just goes, but usually the rule is the bigger vehicle goes first. So, you know, if you see a big truck coming through an intersection and he's flashing his lights, that doesn't mean for you to go. That means he's coming and he's not stopping. In the US, when you flash somebody's light, when you flash your lights at somebody, that usually means you're giving them the right of way, or there's a cop ahead. They do that here also for police checks, or maybe something in the road. They will flash their lights. But typically if somebody's coming, and a lot of times these big trucks and these hot shots and everybody, they'll pass whenever they feel like passing. It doesn't matter if they're on a hill, on a corner, in a school zone, or whatever, they're gonna pass. And you need to just get off the side of the road or move over a little bit and let them come right through. The big trucks and stuff, they're gonna just flash your lights. One time we had to go almost off the road. Well, we did go off the road because a big truck was coming. It's like, he wasn't stopping. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna play chicken with this guy, so we just got off the road. There's several instances when we drive where we're having to avoid accidents. The thing about avoiding accidents, it's really something that the officials need you to do. What I mean by that, like you'll notice motorbikes and pedestrians and animals, they'll just come out on the road, not even looking. It's up to you to pay attention to these objects and these people to get out of the way, because if you hit a motorbike coming out, chances are it's going to be your fault. Also, make sure you have cameras everywhere so that it legally is not your fault, right? Because accidents do happen. But they expect you to yield for the people, and they expect you not to hit them, which is strange, because if they're not paying attention, what if the other guy's not paying attention? Which that's what happens most of the time. So just try to avoid as much as possible. I try to drive on the right-hand side of the road for a few reasons, because for one, there's a lot of things coming out at me. And second, the road on the left is really for slower traffic. And the slower traffic, actually the speed limits are for motorbikes, for big trucks, and for passenger cars or big bikes. So you got 3 different speed limits. So it's difficult to stay in the left-hand lane because of the big trucks. Not only that, but it's hot in Thailand and the trucks are pretty heavy, and they wave out the asphalt, and it's difficult to stay on the road. So we find ourselves driving on the right. So if you're going to drive on the right, you need to pay attention what's going on behind you and kind of yield to those people that are coming up, you know, or a lot of times they'll pass, but it's courteous just to get over and allow them to come through instead of going, oh, well, if you're going to speed, you can just go the hell around me, you know, because they will, but it's best just to get over and don't worry about that. Traffic laws, stuff like that. There's a lot of cameras everywhere. I bought a cheap radar detector, not to cheat the system, but a lot of times you'll come, just like anywhere, like your speed limit will be 90, and then all of a sudden it'll drop down and they'll have a camera right there, and you're just cruising along. Well, the camera kind of keeps me from getting into those sometimes speed traps. So, and it happens a lot in Thailand. And a lot of times there'll be also some guys hunkered down in the bushes with a with a laser, you know. I've seen that many times. But a lot of times they'll just mail you the ticket in the mail, or up the road we'll have a police check, and they'll have your license plate written down on a piece of paper, and they'll have you pull over to the side. So I bought a little cheap radar detector. It's probably saved me many dollars. I don't speed normally. I keep it under 100. The speed limit typically is 90 kilometers per hour, and if you keep it under 100, 99, that's okay. Now, they had a rule change a while back, and it's not, I don't know, 100%. If you see a sign that says 120 kilometers per hour, then you can do that. But a lot of times they said, well, before they said if there was a concrete divider or some kind of divider that you could do 120. I wouldn't do that, because a lot of times there's signs that say 90, and yeah, I just don't trust that. If you see it says 120, fine. Usually in the major cities like in Bangkok and stuff like that, you'll see it'll say 120 marked on the road. 100 here, 120 over there, and if you're not doing 120, then stay the hell out of their way. But normally, police don't pull you over on the road. Like, I've never seen anybody, like, you can blow right by a cop and nobody's going to do anything. Or if you're on a motorbike, passing them up, they're not going to do anything. They have, like, specific checkpoints where they'll be checking certain things. Speeding, licensing, registrations. They check for making sure people have their documents for transporting goods, stuff like that. But there'll be random checks. It's weird because, like, lunchtime, there's nobody there. Like, they break for lunch. And in the morning, like, there's nobody there either. If you get pulled over for drunk and driving, yeah, I think I may have said that wrong. You're gonna go to jail, pretty much. There's like zero tolerance for drinking and driving here. You're gonna have to go in. You'll have to pay like a bond to get released, so you don't go into jail. You have to go to a court date, and then you're gonna get on probation or whatever. So they're very strict. Doesn't matter if you're a foreigner or what. I've been told by the police, I said, well, what if I'm only on vacation? They said, you're still gonna go through the same motions. If you come back to Thailand, you'll have to continue with your probation or whatever that, you know, and they will take your license for 6 months. So don't drink and drive. There's plenty of ways to get around in Thailand. And I don't know what the alcohol percentage, I think it's like 0.5 or something. I'm not sure, but just don't do it. They're very strict, especially during the holidays. A week before New Year and a week after New Year, and Thai New Year, yeah, don't do it, because they will definitely come up to you with the little blow thing and say, here, blow in this.
Ride bicycle.
Yeah, ride a bicycle. But I've been told by a probation officer that if you come into a checkpoint and you know you're drunk, you just turn around and go the other way. I mean, he told me that. Just go the other way. Don't go through there. I'm like, okay, Thailand, up to you. if you get a vehicle and you modify it, you change it, like you add something that's a different color, or you got to register that with the Department of Motor Vehicles that you've done that, and you're going to get pulled over every time you go through a police check because you got a carbon fiber hood. They want to make sure that you have changed it, and yeah, then they'll let you go, but you gotta get stopped for that. So what else? Any helpful hints? I think the biggest thing is don't drive aggressively, right? Don't be in a hurry. The roads are not always that good. They are improving them. They're putting some lights in. They're doing a lot of things. But huh? Big rock. Let's turn this camera on. Big rock. What rock? Anyway, just relax through Thailand. We used Garmin. No, we use Google now. We were using a Garmin, but the sun took it out. But we just been using Google Maps. Seems to be working just fine. Sometimes she likes to take you, no matter what settings you have, quickest route, shortest route, whatever route, sometimes she just wants to take you on an adventure. So we're usually in no big of a hurry. We just go on the adventure sometimes, or we zoom out and make sure, or a lot of times Paige will put some checkpoints in between at some gas stations or something, so we know we're going on the route we need to go on, you know. Yeah, just watch out for the motorbike people. And a lot of times, and I didn't notice why at first, but I'd be driving in the right lane, and then every time I'd go by a truck, it'd want to come over at me, and I'm like, is my truck a magnet, or what's the deal? But you can't see on the other side. But if there's a motorbike driving all the way on the side, these trucks will stay clear of that. They'll come over. They're not worried about you smashing you into the curb. They're worried about this motorbike that might somehow just all of a sudden jump out on the road, and then they're going to be responsible for their death, you know. So be careful with that, and just watch out for them. Don't freak out when they're coming over. Just get around them or slow down. But everybody kind of gets away from the people on the side. And you know, driving in the country for me is probably the worst type of drivers, because a lot of times, not all of them, but they like to wake up and start drinking like this really strong Thai whiskey called Lao Khao. And they just kind of drive in the center of the road in their own galaxy, and they're not paying attention to you. So watch out for these people. There's a lot of homemade vehicles in the country. You may come up over a hill and just come right up on some kind of homemade tractor, you know, that has no lights if it's nighttime or whatever. You never know what kind of vehicle. There's all kind of strange stuff driving around. And yeah, that's about it, I think. I'm sure there's many more. The flashing lights, remember, they're coming at you. They're not telling you to go, so don't get confused on that. Oh, when a lot of times when you're behind a big truck, if they turn their right signal on, it means you can't pass. But a lot of times they'll put the left signal on to say you can pass, but make sure, you never know what's ahead of you. Just be careful. Thailand is a little bit different, especially in the country. I got some construction here. She's telling me to stop. He's telling me to go. And this guy's pulling out. Okay. But I've driven in Thailand almost 160,000 kilometers. We've been just about everywhere. We've seen a whole lot of things. I haven't had any accidents yet. Had a few close calls, but you know, it is what it is. Just try to adapt and blend in as much as you can. That's about it. Well, guys, I'm going to end the video right there, and we are going to start tomorrow's video with the rock climbing. We're going rock climbing. We're actually home. Been home for a little bit, just editing some videos right now for you guys. Got a lot of fun stuff coming. Actually, today there's fun things, but you'll have to see that later. Anyway, I know this is weird. Come with us tomorrow. We're going on a rock climbing adventure. Bye.